Yo, Jets Nation, we got some news to talk about today. This morning, the New York Jets have finally hired their new offensive coordinator. My apologies. I know I am late to the party. This morning, I had to help my buddy move. He owns a business, and he's moving from his warehouse to a new space to work. And we rented a U-Haul. And right when I picked up my friend to go helping out, me and Jack were going to help out my buddy. I get the news, Jets. I actually learned the news from WFAN, and I looked at Jack. I'm like, bro, the Jets just hired Nathaniel Hackett, and we're about to go all day. And I can't go live. My point is, the news broke, and I'm like, damn it, I can't even go live to talk about this. So that's why I'm a little late to the party, but it's all good. It's all good. You guys have awesome Jets content creators breaking you the news today, and now you get to hear my thoughts of this. So if you've been watching my channel for the past couple of days and weeks talking about the offensive coordinator search, I've actually was in favor of Nathaniel Hackett. I think that this is a great move for the Jets, and I know that a lot of people are immediately linking Nathaniel Hackett with Aaron Rodgers, and that's obviously going to happen. Aaron Rodgers has been linked to the Jets over the week. I've made countless videos on Aaron Rodgers. We all said if Aaron Rodgers does come to the Jets, we'd prefer it to be with Nathaniel Hackett. But I will say that even if we don't get Aaron Rodgers and say, for example, we get Derek Carr, I still think Nathaniel Hackett is the right man for the job, especially when you look at the candidates that we were interviewing outside of Nathaniel Hackett. And that's something that we really need to keep in mind here, guys. I think that this is an upgrade from Mike LaFleur. And I think that the things I like about Nathaniel Hackett personally is when you look at his track record. I know everyone's going to look at his Denver Broncos year and him plummeting as a head coach, by the way, not an offensive coordinator. Very big difference. But everywhere he's been, the players had their best seasons of their career under Nathaniel Hackett. That's going back to Jacksonville, even his time in Buffalo. And of course, with Green Bay, I know he didn't call plays for the Green Bay Packers, but he was the red zone specialist, and he was helping Matt LaFleur organize and game plan, and he had a big role in that. And the Packers were one of the best red zone offenses in the league that year, those 2 years with Hackett. And I think we all know what the Jets struggled with the most this past season offensively was capitalizing in the red zone. Now, I know that this hire is not going to please everybody, and why should it? I mean, we're talking about hiring a guy who just got fired in his first year as a head coach for the Denver Broncos, and it looked like a mess. But people need to realize that being a head coach in this league is a completely different animal than being an assistant and an offensive coordinator. And this is someone that's been in this league before. He's been to multiple teams. He had experience with multiple different quarterbacks, multiple different receivers, offensive line. And I think that this is the right man for the job if you really look at the outlook of this Jets team. We heard from Robert Saleh today, and he said something very interesting, that they are definitely adding a veteran quarterback, and he also wants to make sure that whoever they brought in, which is obviously now Nathaniel Hackett, his job is going to help develop Zach Wilson for the long run on top of bringing in a veteran quarterback. Now, who that veteran quarterback is, we do not know yet. Obviously, we all are hoping it's Aaron Rodgers. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would like Derek Carr. I would love Derek Carr as well. And Lamar Jackson kind of just feels like that's just really unrealistic at this point. But the reality is, man, the Jets, they brought in Nathaniel Hackett. And I'm assuming that you guys are very, very split on this. But for the people that are upset with Nathaniel Hackett, I have to ask you one question. Do you think Nathaniel Hackett is an upgrade over Mike LaFleur? That is something that you need to ask yourself, because I think that's an obvious yes. Because we got an experienced play caller who has a great relationship with all the quarterbacks he's ever played with. Remember that Jacksonville Jaguars team that went to the AFC Championship? Yeah, their defense had a big reason for that, and Robert Saleh was a linebackers coach, by the way, that on that team. But Nathaniel Hackett had made Blake Bortles into something that, like, we all know Blake Bortles isn't. That's because of coaching. That's because of putting your quarterback in the right situation to succeed, and that's what we want from a guy. So I'm going to make a poll right now in the chat, because I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm curious if it's split down the middle, if it leans one way. Are you happy with this hire? Are you happy with this hire? I just asked the poll. So, guys, if you're just tuning into the show, do me a gigantic favor. Hit that thumbs up button, man. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning into the show. I really am curious to hear how you guys are leaning in the chat, how you feel. This is something that we've been waiting to hear about for weeks, and we finally got the decision from Robert Saleh, and it was really interesting to hear what he had to say about Nathaniel Hackett. I also think this is going to be really good for the Jets' run game. I think that the Jets are a team that it's obvious that they're really prioritizing, building a running attack. And I feel like Nathaniel Hackett, he's someone that is always established a run game wherever that he's been. And I think that the Jets, man, we got the dogs on the running back position. The difference is going to be the offensive line. Another hire that we brought in that is definitely something we need to mention is our new offensive line coach, our new run game coordinator, that being Keith Carter, who comes from the Tennessee Titans. And we know what the Tennessee Titans have done the past 5 years or so. They've been an offensive line that's been mauling people in the run game with Derrick Henry. Even without Derrick Henry, when he goes down, they're still successful offensive line. The Titans haven't been that good offensive line wise in terms of pass protection. He's more of the running game coordinator, which is exactly his job, on top of being an O-line coach and a run game coordinator. Really cool thing about Keith Carter that I like, though, is he had options. There was a lot of teams interested in Keith Carter, 4 teams, I believe, and he chose the Jets. He looked at the Jets. He saw this offensive line. He saw the offensive, players around the O-line. I'm assuming he heard that Nathaniel Hackett's going to join, and he wanted to be part of the Jets. And I think that tells you a lot about this organization, that he chose us over these other teams that I don't know who they are. But that tells you that this coaching staff really is during the interview process, they're really pitching themselves, and they're really showing that we have a foundation here. We have a vision, and I really want you to be part of this vision. And also, Nathaniel Hackett, by the way, could have easily sat on the couch for the next 4 years. I mean, when you're a head coach and you get hired, that contract is fully guaranteed. I don't know the contract in total, but he easily could have sat back and got paid a lot of freaking money to do nothing. But instead, Nathaniel Hackett's like, no, I want to get back into the business, and I want to be a coach in this league because he believes in himself. And another thing about, his downfall in Denver, there could be a lot of things he learned from the experience. I mean, being a head coach and it falling out, there's a lot. And I cannot stress enough how many coaches in this league fail as head coaches, but are great coordinators. And that's okay. Not everybody is suited to be a head coach in this league. Some of them are just way better at being an offensive coordinator. And what made Nathaniel Hackett even a head coach in the first place was how good he is and how good he was as an offensive coordinator. So that's something that we need to keep in mind, that this is an experienced offensive coordinator that has, by the way, the same scheme that we were running under LaFleur, that West Coast style offense. So there is some continuity there to be excited about, where guys like Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall and Elijah Moore and Denzel Mims, all the young guys on this offense, it's going to be a different scheme, but it's going to be it's going to be similar to the point where it's not a completely different scheme that's not even close to West Coast, where I have to relearn everything. It's going to be similar on that front. And what Nathaniel Hackett specializes in, that I kind of like, running the football and red zone efficiency. That was the biggest issue with this freaking Jets team, okay? That was the biggest issue. Now, I will also say this, and I should have said this when I first started the video. I always said when we hire the offensive coordinator, it's going to be hard to judge that hire until we find out who the quarterback is, because that is really important. We heard from Saleh that we're getting a veteran quarterback. He said it himself. And it kind of is iffy right now because we don't know who it is. Is it Aaron Rodgers? Is it Derek Carr? I sure hope it's one of those guys. Obviously, Lamar Jackson, throw his name out there. But if we settle on a veteran quarterback that's not anybody that we've been all wanting, then this hire becomes kind of like, okay, what are we doing here? So I will say I will feel a certain type of way based on who we bring in at quarterback on Nathaniel Hackett. If it's Aaron Rodgers, if we trade for Aaron Rodgers and he is the quarterback for this season, I think that this was an excellent freaking hire, because Nathaniel Hackett was his offensive coordinator the 2 years that Aaron Rodgers won MVPs. I know that Hackett wasn't the play caller, but a lot of people inside the Green Bay Packers organization, and Aaron Rodgers even said himself at times, that he was way closer with Nathaniel Hackett than he was with Matt LaFleur. The relationship that he has with Hackett was deep and it was real, and that could really make Aaron Rodgers comfortable if he does leave Green Bay and it comes to the New York Jets, having a familiar mind, having someone that he already has a relationship with, where if Aaron Rodgers came to the Jets, he doesn't know anybody on the offensive coaching staff. And it's just like new players, new system, new everything. No, that would not be the case. It just really makes too much sense for Aaron Rodgers coming here, bro. It really does. And if he doesn't come to the Jets, it better be freaking Derek Carr or Lamar. That's all I'm going to say. All right, now let's get into the poll. You have 83 people voting on the poll. 81% are saying yes. Okay, that's definitely interesting. 81% of you guys are saying yes, you are happy with this hire. Now, I really want you guys to let me know why you're happy now in the chat. What are the reasons why you think this is the right hire based on all the different things that we've been seeing throughout this offensive coordinator search, man? I really think that the Jets potentially they're doing something, man. They're doing something. I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's live stream, which is indeed Prize Picks. If you guys want to click the link down below in the description, use promo code Jets Media on Prize Picks. They will give you 100% deposit match up to $100. We got the Championship Sunday kicking off this Sunday, of course. So if you guys want to use my promo code Jets Media, of course, Prize Picks is your daily fantasy app where you can do player prop bets and you can bet the over and under on certain players and you create a parlay. You can make a lot of money. I've made a lot of money these past couple of weeks during the playoffs because of Prize Picks. So I do want to give a quick shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's live stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you to Prize Picks. All right. So Benjamin in the chat says, Richie, Zach is the QB. Haha. This hire is the confirmation. Benjamin, that is false. I am not sure where you're coming from on this one. I don't know if you're joking, but if you listen to Robert Saleh, my friend, he said himself that they're getting a veteran quarterback in the building and that they want Zach Wilson to be developed behind the veteran quarterback. So Zach is the quarterback, but he's not the quarterback. He's not the starting quarterback. And even at the end of the press conference, Robert Saleh was asked, if you go and get a veteran quarterback and it has a financial commitment to that quarterback, are you going to have an open competition where Zach can potentially win the job? And Robert Saleh kind of chuckled and he said, I don't have an answer for that. Ask me that before training camp after we get through this. So that's just not true, man. Top Pro Malone with a $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. It's a soft yes to being happy with Hackett. He was the best option, not named Frank Reich, with play calling experience. If we get Rodgers, then it's amazing. I agree with this take right here. It's hard for me to assess this hire without knowing the quarterback is. And I think if the quarterback's not Aaron Rodgers, and say hypothetically it's Derek Carr, I still think it's an okay hire because you do gotta, and like Top Provolone is talking about, that we need to realize who are the candidates out there. Like, is there a specific name that we really wanted instead of? I think Frank Reich would have been a better hire. And guess what? He's the new head coach for the Panthers. So he was not coming to be an offensive coordinator. So get that pipe dream out of your head. All the other guys that we interviewed, you want Nick Haley, the tight ends coach from the Patriots? No, thank you. All the passing game coordinators and all these, offensive assistants for the Philadelphia Eagles staff that don't have play calling experience. No, thank you. We need someone that has play calling experience, someone that has developed relationships with quarterbacks, and that is Nathaniel Hackett. When we fired Mike LaFleur in the first place, it wasn't going to be an easy search. And I can say I feel more confident with Nathaniel Hackett than Mike LaFleur. Mike LaFleur was inexperienced. He actually looked pretty good in year one, to be honest. He looked better in year one in my eyes than year two based on just the potential as a rookie play caller. Year two kind of went to shit later on in the year. So I think the Jets have an upgraded offensive coach and potentially an upgraded quarterback based on who we get. Shout out to Ryan in the chat saying, hey, Richie, just want to let you know that all your streams are awesome and I really appreciate them. It always brightens my day when you start your stream. Keep up the good work and go Jets. Well, Ryan, I really want to say thank you so much, my friend. I really do appreciate you always showing me all the love and the support, man. You're the man, Ryan. This is not the first time that you showed the love here on Jets Media. And I want to say to you, Ryan, thank you. Because without you and all your support that you bring to the channel, I wouldn't be doing this. So thank you so much, my guy. It really does help out the channel. And listen, should we be talking about what happened with Denver? Absolutely, we should. There was a fallout party. But the beautiful thing about this hire, and don't you dare compare this to Adam Gase. Bless you. Thank you. Don't you dare compare this hire to Adam Gase because there's a gigantic difference. We hired Adam Gase as the head coach. We just hired Nathaniel Hackett as the offensive coordinator. Big differences. Big freaking difference, okay? I know that he failed miserably in Denver. He did not fail miserably as an offensive coordinator. He failed miserably as the head coach, and he doesn't have to worry about all three phases of the football. All he needs to worry about is the development of Garrett Wilson, the development of Elijah Moore, of Brees Hall, of Michael Carter, of the tight ends, of the offensive line, and of course, the quarterbacks, including Zach Wilson. So when you bring up Adam Gase, I can't get on board with that comparison. I simply cannot. If we hired Adam Gase as our OC and he failed, then yes, you have a point, but we didn't do that. This is a guy, and I also want to make sure that I don't sound like I think this is an A+ hire, and this is like, holy crap, we're going to the Super Bowl. I might be saying that to forget Aaron Rodgers, though. Not gonna lie, that's why I keep saying, bro, it's really hard to assess this hire until we find out who our quarterback is. Because if it is Aaron Rodgers, and let's just all just take a second and look at A-Rod as the quarterback for a second. I mean, come on. Come on. Beautiful. Joe Namath said that he'll give up number 12 for A-Rod. I don't know if that's like, if that will actually like happen, by the way, but we appreciate you, Joe Namath. Does Rodgers want the Jets, though? Now, this is a great question. I think Nathaniel Hackett being the OC would entice him more than if we got an inexperienced play caller, if we got somebody else. That is something I will say. So I think that this team is ready to win. I genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe that this Jets team is ready to win football games right now. What do we give up for Rodgers? So the rumored package is 2 first-round picks, and that's a rumor. It could be that. It could be a first and a second and a player. It could be less. It could be just a second and a third. I don't know. But you're going to have to give up draft capital. And a big reason why you're going to have to give up a little more draft capital is because the contract is not as bad that most people think. Some people that don't know what they're talking about see the $60 million and they're like, oh my God, we have to pay him $60 million this season. Wrong. There's a difference between cash and cap casualty. If we traded for Aaron Rodgers, guess how much he is charged against the cap this season? $15 million. That is freaking cheap, bro. That means we can resign Quinton Williams. That means we can still fill out the offensive line and go out and get freaking talent around this man. Not like we already don't have talent, by the way. So, I think that when we figure out who the quarterback is, it's going to give us Jets fans more of an understanding if this is a good hire or not. I think that we can all agree that Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers would be a perfect pairing. He was the guy in Green Bay when Aaron Rodgers won back-to-back MVPs. I know there's always a stigma. It doesn't matter who Aaron Rodgers' coordinator is. He's like the coach on the field. Cool. Let him be the coach on the field. Like, bro, okay. It wasn't Hackett. It wasn't LaFleur. It was Aaron Rodgers. All the more reason to freaking get the guy. Like, what? Yeah. Get that man on this Jets team. I think it's worth it to take another swing at a veteran quarterback because what are draft picks? The lottery tickets. I love draft picks. But if you're an organization that can give up 2 first-round picks for a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers to potentially go and win the AFC East and make it to the playoffs and make a run, I think it's worth it because you got to look at this team and look at the options around the league, right? Aaron Rodgers has won a Super Bowl and he's a multi-time MVP. And we've seen, and I think Tom Brady kind of gives me more confidence in this, by the way. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl and he's 43. And I know Aaron Rodgers is not Tom Brady, but seeing Tom Brady playing at a high level still at 45, 46 years old gives me confidence that Aaron Rodgers at the age of 39, 40 years old, he still can play at a high freaking level. And don't forget, this past season, Aaron Rodgers broke his thumb against the Giants, and the game we actually versed him and beat him was the first game with his broken thumb. I'm not saying that that's the reason why he wasn't that good last year, but if you're playing through a broken thumb, that's definitely going to hurt you. So, I don't know, man. I just think that I love the current state of this Jets team around the quarterback. so much outside the O-line, obviously, and I have confidence that they're gonna rework this O-line, that getting a guy like Aaron Rodgers, man. Yeah. Yeah. And listen, there's holes on the roster. More importantly, the offensive line. They're going to have to get a center because Connor McGovern is a free agent. And he is the best free agent actually on the market. So it's not like they can replace Connor McGovern with a better center in the free agent market. So if they do want to get a new center, it's probably going to be through the draft. They're going to need interior offensive line help. They're going to need offensive tackle help because if you want to break down this offensive line, George Fant is walking in free agency most likely. Dwayne Brown, he could return or he could retire. Mekhi Becton, I got a lot of excitement around Mekhi just of the fact of him being healthy, but that is a big if. You cannot rely on Mekhi Becton to be your healthy guy. You need competition heading into training camp, no doubt about it. Elijah Vera Tucker is a freaking superstar. Unfortunately, coming off a season-ending injury, let's hope that he can be healthy all season last year. So the Jets have a hole at center because of McGovern being a free agent, so they can either re-sign McGovern if they want continuity or start over and get a rookie. I think that the center position is very intriguing to me because Connor McGovern had a very roller coaster season. He had games where he looked atrocious. He had games where he was looking really good in the run game. He had games where he looked fucking, excuse my language, looked really bad in the pass game. So the center position is a really important piece to the puzzle, as well as the guards, as well as the tackle spot. But outside of the O-line, guys, bro, the tight ends, they're not touching the tight ends. They got Jeremy Ruckert going into year 2. They got Conklin still, who I think, by the way, with Aaron Rodgers would look like a freaking stud. They got CJ Uzama. The wide receiver room, you can say they'll add one more receiver. I heard a rumor that Corey Davis is most likely going to get cut. Okay, you free up $10 million. What are you going to do with that money? You're going to go get a guy like Alan Lazard to bring over here from Green Bay? Or are you going to go out there and draft someone early in the draft? The one thing I've learned about Joe Douglas is do not sleep on him drafting playmakers early, even if it's not a need. Because who thought that we were going to get Breece Hall last year? I'm sure we had hopes. I'm sure we had fans that wanted Breece Hall, but I'm talking about who thought the Jets would actually trade up to get him. Because we were all, and I'll never forget this, and this is like, and I'm keeping this in the back of my mind for this year's draft, because Douglas doesn't listen to the fans. What do the fans want? Draft safety, draft linebacker. That's what all these fans wanted last year. All we heard from the fans was draft a safety, draft a linebacker. Those are the biggest needs. Douglas laughed and he's like, we can survive with the linebackers and safeties we have, and we did, by the way. I'm going to go up and get the best freaking running back in the draft. And what did Joe Douglas say the night of the draft when he did that? Playmakers, baby. He's hungry off playmakers. Why wouldn't Joe Douglas draft another playmaker early this season, whether it's a wide receiver or another running back? The only reason would be because he's going to go offensive line. I think offensive line is the priority over a playmaker. But my point here is don't sleep on Joe Douglas adding another lethal weapon to this offense, whether it's a wide receiver, whether it's I don't think he's going to do a running back again, but he's going to get another big receiver. And I, I bet you that. Just because we finally found our number one receiver in Garrett Wilson doesn't mean he's going to add another one. Because the smart, and I always like to compare this to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are doing this so well. They draft a receiver every single draft. Early, too. Second, third round. Because what that does is it keeps a young potential stud receiver on a rookie contract over and over. They did it with Juju. They did it with Claypool, who they just flipped for a freaking great value. Now they got George Pickens. They just know how to – they have a pipeline of receivers. And by the way, looking at the 3 drafts that Joe Douglas has had, there's something in common with all 3. He's drafted a receiver in the first 2 rounds of all 3 of his drafts. So Denzel Mims in the second round in his first draft, Elijah Moore in the second round in his second draft, Garrett Wilson in the first round in his third draft. So we have Elijah Moore, who I think is going to get a lock this season. We have Garrett Wilson, who we know is a stud. We have Denzel Mims, who's going to be more of a depth guy this season, but I got confidence in him with the new staff if his name is called. Corey Davis is most likely walking. Braxton Berrios, I think they're going to keep. So there's a hole at the receiver spot, and where are they going to fill that out? The draft, free agency, trade, we'll find that out. But when it comes to Nathaniel Hackett, man, I think that, his system is proven to the same system we've been running. And I think that this Jets team, man, under Nathaniel Hackett running the show on offense, it's just better than what we've had. And that's something that I keep coming back to. Is this a home run hire and also we're going to be a top 5 offense in the league? I can't say that with a straight face. Is this an offense that, by the way, last year was bottom in the league? Yeah, we're coming off bottom feeders. This is an upgrade. This is someone that has freaking been in the league and done it before. So that's what I keep coming back to. Is it the perfect hire? Is it the splashy name? Is it a hire that other NFL fans are going to clown the Jets for because of what just happened in Denver? Of course it's going to happen. Who cares what people think? Man, I just feel like we as a fan base, let's get behind the OC and let's hope that whoever the freaking quarterback is the right one for the job. All right. So, guys, we have well over 200 people watching the stream right now. If you guys can do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. I want to get to 100 likes by the end of the show. Please hit that thumbs up button, everybody. So the poll is at 77% yes. So, guys, if you're not already, vote on the poll as well. I want to get all your guys' thoughts of this hire of Nathaniel Hackett. And it shouldn't come to shock anybody either, by the way, because the Jets have been linked to Nathaniel Hackett for the past couple of days. A lot of things have been trending in that direction. So now let's just go into a hypothetical world real quick because we can. That's what the offseason is all about, right? The offseason is all about. So I want you guys to close your eyes. Well, actually, don't close your eyes. Keep your eyes on the screen. Keep your eyes on Nathaniel Hackett and visualize the New York Jets have traded for this man. He's a Jet, right? We're going through a hypothetical together. Aaron Rodgers is your New York Jets quarterback. And we traded for him. But we didn't give up our first-round pick this season. We gave up our second-round pick this season and our first-round pick next season. I don't know. Maybe that's unrealistic, but that's me being happy. You draft a tackle or even a receiver at 13. Aaron Rodgers unlocks Garrett Wilson to the point where Garrett Wilson is top 5, top 7 receiver in the NFL. Breece Hall, he comes back. He's a little slow to the party. Week 1, week 2, week 3. He's getting healthy. Oh, my gosh. It's week 7. Breece Hall is a star. Back to his old self. Running the football. And this defense is better. If you watched my video yesterday, I said my 5 reasons to trade for Aaron Rodgers. I think that if we freaking get this man, Aaron Rodgers, it's not a guarantee we make the playoffs, but we freaking better make the playoffs. Because if you trade for Aaron Rodgers and he's healthy for 17 games and you miss the playoffs, that's a big disappointment, right? You don't trade for Aaron Rodgers to not make the playoffs. Because now I know that this might sound like I'm a little crazy here. I'm a little over the top here. Because we haven't made the playoffs in 12 years. But getting Aaron Rodgers doesn't even just make the Jets playoff contenders. It makes them better than that. Because what you're doing is getting a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and I know he's won 1. But you're getting somebody that elevates the team around him. It would spark a new life into this organization. It would spark a new fear into the rest of the league, into the division. Okay, how many times have we heard, not even just from Jets fans, but from NFL media analysts throughout the season, the whole year, all we heard from people criticizing the Jets had nothing to do with anything else but the quarterback. We didn't hear anybody complain about the defense, about the weapons, about the rookies, about anything regarding this Jets football team besides the quarterback. Zach Wilson playing like crap, Zach Wilson being benched, Mike White going out there, his ribs being cracked, Joe Flacco going out there. That was the story, and the continuum of the season was people saying, damn, this Jets team, if they actually have a quarterback, could be scary. Ding, ding, ding. Here's the quarterback. He's right freaking here, and he is ready to go win you a Super Bowl. Oh, Richie, why would you say the word Super Bowl? No, Richie, you're delusional. You're not allowed to believe in a Super Bowl. You're a Jets fan. What are you, crazy? You know what? I'm thinking big. Sorry for thinking big. Because why are we fans of this sport? What's the biggest thing? It's for winning championships. Why can't I think of Aaron Rodgers coming here, potentially winning us a Super Bowl? Am I saying that's a guarantee? No. Am I saying that's going to happen? No. But why can't I think that Aaron Rodgers coming here would make us a Super Bowl caliber team? That's not me saying it's a guarantee. That's not me saying that it's going to happen. That's me saying simply that you bring in Aaron freaking Rodgers and you look at the team around them with the weapons and the freaking defense that we have. This is a team that could go out there and go toe to toe with other players, with other teams, man. We have Joe Burrow we got to get through. We have Patrick Mahomes we got to get through. Josh Allen, we can get through him, okay? I just want to say that. Any Bills fans watching, don't take this to offense, but I am not afraid of the Buffalo Bills. We get Aaron Rodgers, we're sweeping the Bills this season. Quote me on that. Okay? I'm coming for freaking everything right now. I don't care. The Cincinnati Bengals are elite. The Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs are elite. How do you go against those quarterbacks? You need a quarterback to do it. Aaron Rodgers is that guy. So I know there's a lot of things around this team outside of the quarterback position. And you guys need to realize if you are so caught up and worried about the safeties or the linebackers, please understand that the talent we have at corner, the talent we have at defensive line, it's okay. CJ Mosley's going to be here next year. He's a second team All Pro. We're we're going to be fine at linebacker and safety, guys. I promise you. Okay? All I heard last offseason was linebackers and safety. Oh, no. We'll be okay. Like, we'll be fine. Our safeties were not that good this past season, and the defense was freaking really good. So put all your freaking resources this offseason in the offensive line and the quarterback. You re-sign Quincy Williams, you re-sign Quan Alexander, you get a new starting safety, and let's go freaking win some football games, man. Let's go win some football games. All right? This is what I'm saying, bro. Let's think big. What's wrong with reaching for the stars? What's wrong with that? We deserve. And previous history also proves that it's possible. Tom Brady, the Buccaneers were not a Super Bowl team. Tom Brady walks in the building, oh, wow, a Super Bowl. And he's the GOAT, so not every quarterback can do that. The Rams, they were a Super Bowl caliber team. They bring in Matthew Stafford, they win a Super Bowl. So there are some teams out there that go all in for a quarterback that's a veteran, and it helps them out. And we are getting a freaking veteran. I mean, Saleh confirmed it today. We have an owner who is going to be willing to pay for it. And that is a luxury, by the way. It's a good thing that Woody Johnson is allowing this team to be aggressive and pay for a quarterback. Because if we had a cheap owner, that would be an issue. John says in the chat, I'm with you, Richie. We have a contender with Rodgers, legit contender. We freaking do, guys. There's no reason to think we don't. The defense that we have mixed with this freaking, oh my gosh. We need an offensive line, man. That's the missing piece. That is the missing piece outside of the quarterback. Let's fucking, why do I keep slipping on the F-bomb today, guys? I guess I'm just hyped up thinking that this man's a Jet, even though he's not a Jet yet. My man, NYJ Matt or Mike. I don't know who it is, but it's one of those two fellas. I think there's a 30% chance of Rodgers, 30% chance of Carr, 40% chance of Jimmy G. Yeah, Jimmy G. Jimmy G. I don't know how I feel about Jimmy Garoppolo, guys. I'll say this: I'm not going to be talking about Super Bowls with Jimmy G, just because I don't know if he can stay healthy. But we'll see, man. Out of this is my list: Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo. Give me one of those four, I guess. Right? Ali's in the chat. What's good, man? Prediction, not what I want. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is definitely highly likely. I would prefer Carr and Rodgers. Yeah, man. Scare. It's just Jimmy G with the injury scares me, and if that happens, I'm nervous. But I hear what you're saying, man. Jimmy Garoppolo. If Aaron Rodgers goes somewhere else, if Derek Carr gets traded somewhere else, I mean, where else are we gonna go? Jimmy Garoppolo is the only option, right? Hackett will be fine. Head coach got to deal with so much more politics. Right now, dude can just put his head down and coach some damn football. Head coach, OCDC are two different worlds. Facts, Drewski, 110%. Do not make it seem like just because he failed miserably as a head coach, that guarantees that he's going to fail as the Jets OC. The reason why he was a head coach in the first place is because of how freaking good of an offensive coordinator he is. Okay? That's what people need to realize. Rich is in the house. Everybody hit that like button. We're so close to 100. Can we do it? Can we do it? So, I'm going to take Rodgers off the screen. We're going to put our new OC back on the field on the 100 likes we just got. Thank you guys. We're going to put our new OC on the screen. I don't know how to feel about this hire in totality until I know who our quarterback is. It's true. Because if we get Aaron Rodgers, bro, this man is throwing parties. I don't care if we do get Rodgers and it all plummets next year. I'm, I'm still going to be happy that they tried. Okay. Because the foundation is laid, ladies and gentlemen. The offense has. Hold on. Hold on one second. Look at this picture we're about to put up on the screen. Ready? If you watched my video yesterday, you know what I'm about to put on the screen. Yeah. Tell me about that. Look at that. And that is without any additions. I think the most slept on weapon on this screen with Aaron Rodgers is Tyler Conklin. And I know some people are going to be like, Richie, what are you talking about? Rodgers loves his tight ends. He also loves his number one receivers. Garrett Wilson is going to be the star. But I think Tyler Conklin would thrive with Aaron Rodgers. I just have a feeling. And we still got Uzama, and we still got Rucker. Those three tight ends, I like them. I think Conklin would thrive. I also think Elijah Moore would thrive. I also think Brees Hall. I mean, all these guys would. Look at that. This is without any additions. These are the guys that we have under contract. They are on the Jets for next year, besides Aaron Rodgers, obviously. So let's keep going. Let's keep building. Jimmy says, what are the chances we win the East with Nathaniel, with Rodgers? So I think they are very high, comparatively speaking to other quarterbacks. Now, say we bring in Aaron Rodgers and say the Dolphins stay with Tua and the Patriots stay with Mac Jones and obviously the Bills with Josh Allen. I think the Patriots are going to be a better team next year. I think they hit a home run with their offensive coordinator hire. The Dolphins are probably going to get better. But the Buffalo Bills, I am not afraid of those Bills. I am not. We showed that we can beat the Bills. We beat the Bills with Zach Wilson. Okay. Our defense can shut down Josh Allen. We did it last year twice. Even though they beat us a second time, we still played good defense against them. So, um, I don't think it's a guarantee. I don't think it's going to be easy. But the Bills, who are a team that's been running this division for 3 years, I think they're not going to win the division this year. And I'm not saying it's going to be the Jets that win it. Could be the Dolphins, could be the Patriots, could be the Jets. But I think that might be the year where the Bills do not win the division. And that's my bold prediction. And if it's Aaron Rodgers, the Jets have a chance to win the division. And if people come at me and think I'm delusional and I'm starting to turn like TD Finstock, so freaking be it. But if we have Aaron freaking Rodgers on our team with a healthy offensive line, I will say right here that the New York Jets has a very good chance of winning the AFC East. And I can say that over and over and over again. I'm going to say that on the roundtable all off season if we get Aaron Rodgers. I'm not afraid to say it because if we don't win the division, I am totally comfortable with admitting when I'm wrong. Because guess what? Your boy's not right all the time. I mean, if everybody is right all the time, then you would be a lottery winner, right? No one's right every time. So let's go get Aaron Rodgers so we can finally start talking about this crap. I hate talking about what ifs and this and that and all of it around. But at least we have some answer at OC, right? We got an answer at OC. Now we got to get an answer at QB. And Robert Saleh said that he's finally going to take a vacation now after hiring his OC, and that next week is going to be the time where they talk about who the quarterback's going to be. So that's going to be interesting. It's Snoopy says, Richie, you do sound like TD, but I love it. Hey, man, shout out TD. That man, he's just great at what he does. Love or hate him, you got to respect the man. Rodgers or bust. Hell to the yeah, baby. Hell to the yeah. Hell to the yeah. Come on, baby. Oh, man. I know how all Jets fans feel in this moment. It's like, oh, we got Hackett. Oh. There needs to be one more piece of the puzzle before we really start getting excited. And that's freaking Aaron Rodgers. All right? And I hear you guys. I hear you loud and freaking clear. But we have over 250 people watching right now. And I just want to say to all 264 of you watching, I'm assuming majority of you guys are Jets fans. We're doing good. Hackett was the right man for the job. Nathaniel Hackett was the right man for the job. All right? He was. Jimmy says, I would love if Hackett could find a role for Mims. Me freaking too. I tweeted out a couple days ago, and all I hear, Twitter is getting so toxic, man. Every time I tweet something out, I got some nonsense underneath me just talking crap. I'm like, bro, I'm just a Jets fan just trying to chill. Like, why are you attacking me? Just talking about my boy Denzel Mims. Why are you attacking me? But we're not going to get into that because the hate is part of the game, baby. I drink the hate and I turn it into freaking positive love because that's what I'm about, baby. All right, so this is the tweet that I made. That kind of went a little popped off just a bit about Denzel. If the Jets trade for Aaron Rodgers, the Denzel Mims hive will come alive once again, and I'm ready for it. This is my tweet. Because I think that Aaron Rodgers would unlock Denzel Mims. Also, Elijah Moore as well. And I think Denzel Mims is a very talented wide receiver. He did not take advantage of his full role that I would like. I mean, how many times have we heard Denzel Mims not fitting LaFleur's scheme? Give me a freaking break. He doesn't fit the scheme. Is he better for a vertical pass heavy offense? Maybe he is. But good coaches are the ones that can take talent and sprinkle it into the scheme. So let's freaking go. Denzel Mims and Elijah Moore. Because we drafted Denzel Mims as a couple years ago. We were all excited about Denzel. He looked promising as a rookie. And then we draft Elijah Moore. We're like, oh, wow, maybe Elijah's our number one receiver. Because remember, at the time, we didn't have a number one receiver. And then as a rookie, Elijah Moore looked pretty darn good. And then he got injured for the rest of the year. And then we drafted Garrett Wilson. We're like, oh, that's a number one receiver. And he lived up to the hype of the number one receiver role. And that man's our number one receiver. So you got Garrett Wilson going to get 10 plus targets a game. You got Elijah Moore lining up in the slot and the outside. You got Denzel Mims on the outside, rotating with whoever else we bring in the offseason, whether that's someone in the draft or the trade or the free agency market, or maybe we even keep Corey Davis. I don't know. I don't think we're going to keep Corey Davis. But I think that we have a lot of talent. Like, there's a reason why this fan base, there is a high for Mims. We see the talent in Mims. There's a reason why a lot of people believe in Elijah Moore. There's talent there. What good coaches do is unlock that talent. Now, is it guaranteed it's going to happen? Absolutely not. But I think that the core of youth and the core of talent that this Jets offense has on the roster today for the future is real. So let's go. So I said this early on in the stream, and I'm going to have to say it again. John, I appreciate you tuning into the show, my friend, but I got to let you know something. There is a big difference. You cannot bring up Adam Gase in this light. Anybody know what I'm going to say? It's really obvious. Adam Gase was a failed head coach for the New York Jets, and we just hired Nathaniel Hackett as our offensive coordinator. Those are two different roles, and a lot of people get that confused. Adam Gase was a now don't run away from me on this, guys. Adam Gase was a good offensive coordinator. Adam Gase was an atrocious head coach. Maybe he'll never coach again. Nathaniel Hackett, excellent offensive coordinator, bad head coach. Now he gets another opportunity. He's never, everywhere that he's been an OC, he's never bad. Okay. So when you compare Adam Gase to Nathaniel Hackett, you have to realize that Adam Gase was not our offensive coordinator. He was our head coach. Two different jobs, two different responsibilities. There's a lot and so many examples of coaches that are just not suited to be the head coach, but they are very good OCs and DCs as well. I think we can all agree Todd Bowles, elite defensive coordinator. Head coach, I think he's better as a DC. Josh McDaniels, I don't know what he's going to do with the Raiders after Derek Carr and they get the new people in the building, but I think he is an elite offensive coordinator. Don't know if he's that good as a head coach. My point is, yeah, that's my point. You get it. We got Green Bay Packers fan Percy in the chat. Don't get me wrong, guys. If Rodgers leaves Green Bay, I hope he goes to the Jets and wins. You guys deserve it. Well, Percy, we really do appreciate that. If you can do us a favor, I don't know if you have any inside sources. If you call the Green Bay Packers front office, tell them, hey, the Jets would love Aaron Rodgers. Because we would. Bring him home. And we would love that. We'd be rooting for you guys as well with Jordan Love. You deserve it. Let's go. Let's go Packers. And know that when Sauce Gardner put the cheese head on his head when we beat you in Lambeau last year, that was all love. Okay? If the Packers don't trade Rodgers, do they move Love? Not for us, just curious. I don't want to speak for the Packers, but I'd assume they'd keep Love because they're going the same philosophy as they do with Aaron Rodgers, with Brett Favre playing for 3 years, Rodgers sitting behind him. Love is their future, and I'm sure that they believe in that. Percy talked to them, and he said Rodgers is not going anywhere. Damn it, Percy. That doesn't help us. OMG, imagine watching the Jets at home with Rodgers versus Mahomes. Oh, Dallas, dude. You're getting me excited, man, of that reality that's not real. What am I saying? It is real because it's going to happen. What we do know is that the Jets are getting a veteran quarterback. And that is confirmed by Robert Saleh himself. And I think that's the first time he's openly admitted it, by the way. And I do want to bring this up because I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the chat. I brought this up in my video yesterday. I made a video, and here are my notes on the video. Can't see it. It's not focusing. Come on. Focus, camera. Come on. You can do it, camera. Take the white away. So the camera doesn't want to focus. So you guys cannot read my notes. 5 reasons. There it is. Okay. Not working. 5 reasons the Jets should trade for Aaron Rodgers. I'll give you my 5 reasons right now. If you want my more in-depth breakdown of this 5 reasons, check out my video I made yesterday. Number 1, the New York Jets are a quarterback away. We would have made the playoffs last season if we had a quarterback, and I'll stand by that. If the Jets had scored 22 points per game, which is a league average, we would have had 11 wins. And me saying we're a quarterback away does not negate all the other holes on the roster. But the talent that we have compared to the holes overweighs that, and we are a quarterback away from being a very good football team. And that is not just be me saying that as a Jets fan. NFL people say the same exact thing. That's number 1. The Jets are a quarterback away, so it's worth to go out there and get Aaron Rodgers. Number 2, the Jets have the talent around Aaron Rodgers, playmaking-wise. Offensive line-wise, not so much. They must address the O-line. But playmaking-wise, and we had this on the screen already. I'll put it back up there. We have the talent. Aaron Rodgers has Breece Hall to hand the ball off to. He has Garrett Wilson to throw the ball to. He has Elijah Moore. He has Tyler Conklin. Those are talent. So that is the second reason why. Number 3, we have an elite-level championship defense that will get better. First-team All-Pro Sauce Gardner as a rookie. First-team All-Pro Quinnen Williams. Second-team All-Pro C.J. Mosley. We have 3 All-Pros on the freaking defense, folks. Come on. We have a championship-level defense. You go get Aaron Rodgers so we can go make a run at the playoffs. Number 4, and now this is where I talked about it earlier. Now people are going to think I'm crazy. I'm going to sound like TD Finn's talk. Aaron Rodgers could give the Jets a chance for the Super Bowl. What? You cannot say the words Super Bowl mixed with the Jets. That doesn't go inside. But Aaron Rodgers is a 4-time MVP and a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Therefore, he could give the Jets a chance for the Super Bowl. And I know that there's a gauntlet of the AFC. We got to get through our own division. We got to get through Mahomes. We got to get through Burrow. We got to get through Trevor Lawrence. Got to get through all these teams. I get that. But Aaron Rodgers gives you at least a chance. It puts us in the conversation for it, potentially. Number 5. Now, this is more of the long term, and this is kind of why I want to bring up these reasons. This is a very interesting one. And I want to get your guys' thoughts on this because I know some of you are immediately going to throw this away, say, don't even bring that up. But I'm still going to bring it up. The 5th reason why I think trading for Aaron Rodgers makes sense is for Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson. So, Zach Wilson, who was Zach Wilson's favorite quarterback growing up? Who was the man that he idolized and modeled his game after? Aaron freaking Rodgers. They have a relationship. Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson developed a relationship when they went for the joint practices in his rookie season. Aaron Rodgers spoke glowingly of Zach Wilson on the Pat McAfee show a couple days ago. He was saying how talented he was. It was very genuine. You can hear Aaron Rodgers speak genuinely of how good how good he thinks Zach Wilson could be if he works on all the right things. So say hypothetically, guys, we bring in Aaron Rodgers for 2 seasons. Zach Wilson sits behind Aaron Rodgers for that 2 seasons. We do whatever, and then Zach Wilson gets handed the torch, and he's back to our quarterback. And what if Zach all of a sudden is a franchise guy? So, and I know that a lot of people are like, give up on Zach. He is done. He is trash. But this is just some hypothetical scenario that I keep coming back to because you can tell that the Jets are very interested in fixing and developing Zach Wilson, by the way. Robert Saleh said today that he spoke to every offensive coordinator they interviewed potentially and told them that Zach Wilson's part of the plans and they want that OC to put just as much effort into developing Zach Wilson as the starting veteran quarterback and everybody else on the team. So they want Zach Wilson to still be developed. And if you get Aaron Rodgers, right? I think Aaron Rodgers would help Zach Wilson in so many freaking ways. So many ways. Not only his play on the field, but how to be a quarterback off the field because there's so much to be a quarterback in this league off the field. And I think Zach Wilson sometimes kind of overstimulates himself with too much film and too much worrying. Whereas Aaron Rodgers is at a peaceful point in his life. He's mature, right? Obviously a veteran. He knows the game in and out. What a perfect mentor Zach Wilson would have in Aaron freaking Rodgers, bro. And now let's go into another hypothetical. And I know you guys are probably sick of these hypotheticals, but why freaking not? It's the offseason, all right? We can live in fantasy land right now. If we do bring in Aaron Rodgers, he plays well for 2 seasons. Zach Wilson becomes the guy. We give him an extension, which wouldn't be a lot. And then Zach Wilson's playing at a high level. He's a top 10 quarterback. He's playing like the second overall pick that we all fell in love with when we got him. And then there we go. Ah, can you imagine that? Now, don't know if that's going to happen. I'm definitely not going to invest in that. I'm not going to put all my eggs in the I'm not going to put all my eggs in the basket on that, right? So, we'll see. But overall, I'm pretty excited about this hiring of Nathaniel Hackett. I think that it is out of all the people that we interviewed, this was the only one that kind of made sense for us. He kind of checked all the boxes, as Robert Saleh said, and collaborative effort between Saleh and Hackett is important. They know each other. They've worked with each other before. Something that I heard Saleh say about Hackett that stood out to me is really good person in terms of building relationships and building connections with the players. I think that's very important. Outside of just scheme, outside of just philosophy, you got to be a coach that can relate to players, that can really get the utmost potential, find their ceiling in the players, and reach that ceiling as a player. Now, could this be a disaster and the Jets offense sucks next year and he's gone and Salah's gone next year? Yeah, that could happen, right? But I think out of all the options that the Jets had, this was the right man. It was. This was the right man for the job. Let's go it. QT Spartan says, I'm sorry, Zach Wilson is horrible. I don't see him becoming something not to hate, but he is quite horrendous. Well, QT Spartan, you're right. He is quite horrendous, as you would say. That was just me being optimistic in a way of if there was, right? Think of it this way. If there was a way to fix Zach Wilson, don't you think that would be the best way to do that by getting his idol that he modeled his game after to be his mentor, right? So if there was a potential in Zach Wilson to be salvaged, that is the only way I can see it happening. That's my point, right? That my point of the Zach Wilson thing was if there was a way to salvage his career and make him a franchise quarterback, I think Aaron Rodgers would be a really good mentor for him. My man, Jets forever. He's just going to continue hyping up Zach until he dies, and I respect you for that. The fact that you're holding on to Zach Wilson because of his wrist motion is hilarious, and I respect you. That's forever. I really do. His wrist motion, good wrist motion. Give you that. But keep it up, man. We appreciate you. We need some Zach and years in the chat. Jets forever brings that. Don't think anyone is debating on why we should or should not get Rodgers. Everyone would love to have him as a Jet. The thing is, if we don't get him, then what? Hackett with Carr, Jimmy G. I'm hyped. I think Derek Carr and Hackett would actually be a pretty good match for sure. Not as good as Rodgers but don't make it seem like this is Rodgers or bust. I still think you get Derek Carr with Hackett. I might not be talking Super Bowl like I would be with Aaron Rodgers, but I still think that we'd be pretty good. Um, yeah, not as exciting. I get that, but Jimmy G, no, thank you. Let's go, Pats. You're going to be as good as the Broncos. Well, that doesn't make sense, sir, Gary, because we did not hire Nathaniel Hackett as our head coach. So I don't know what you're talking about. Nathaniel Hackett was the Denver Broncos head coach. We hired Nathaniel Hackett to be our offensive coordinator. And that's my favorite thing about all the people coming out and hating on this hire. People are acting like we hired this guy to be our head coach. We didn't. Sorry to tell you that, but we didn't. So keep laughing all you want. Patriots are trash. That felt good to say. Why not? Why not say that they're trash? Because I can. Um, yeah. So, could you imagine the Rodgers jersey sales if he becomes here? Yeah, yeah. I'm down. Percy says Hackett is a good coordinator. I love them in Green Bay, and so did Rodgers. My point exactly. People keep acting like we hired Hackett as our head coach. We didn't. Big difference. You know why he became the Broncos head coach? It's because of how good he was as an OC. Zach can really throw the football. Y'all don't understand. Oh, Jets forever. I love you, man. I don't want to get into debate with you, my friend, but the one thing I will say is there is so much more to the quarterback position than being able to flick your wrist and throw a football. Just because you look pretty throwing a football does not mean you know how to be a good quarterback. Okay? I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. We had our worst season and we still won one more game than you guys. How are we trash? I wasn't really serious when I said you're trash. It was just like a healthy little jab of trash talk. So don't take it seriously. It was like funny for me to say, yeah, the Patriots are trash. Right? It wasn't like I actually meant it. I think the Patriots actually hit a home run with their OC hire. Um, with O'Brien. I think that was definitely the right decision for you guys. No doubt. No doubt. King Blaze could throw a football too. Let's see that wrist motion, baby. We'll bring you in for a interview. Hey, Aaron. Shout out Key and Pill. Hey, Aaron. Richie, what's up, Caden? Who do you want to see as other coaches in the roles of wide receiver coach, senior advisor, and possibly QB coach? I'm not sure. I haven't really done research, but the senior advisor coach is going to be very intriguing because that's something to keep an eye on. The Jets are going to hire a senior assistant for the offense. Wide receiver coach, I don't know. Go get me someone. But Keith Carter, the O line and running game coordinator now for the Jets, I think was a great hire, by the way. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. We're well over an hour. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. If you guys can do me a solid before you quit the stream and leave, just simply hit the like button, guys. Really helps out the channel a lot. Just by simply hitting the like button would really help out the stream a lot, guys. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. The New York Jets are here, baby. Let's go. The New York Jets are here. Am I related to the pianos? Which pianos are you referring to? Jet simulators. Um, but I don't know. I'm running out of things to talk about, right? So I guess I just finish the stream. Grayish Green doesn't want me to go. Don't leave us. Well, a lot of people are already leaving me. I don't know what else to say. I've been live for an hour and five, just like blabbering, blah blah blah. You know, Joe Piano. I'm not related to them, but I am best friends with Joe Piano's brother, Billy. How did you know that? Now I'm on the jet simulations. Who are you? Why do you think I'm related to the Pianos? I'm friends with the Pianos. Grew up with that. Joe's my. You graduated with Joe. Nice. Tell Joe I said what up. Did you think I was related to them because I looked like them? Oh, there. Now it's coming. Saw you follow me on Instagram. All right. Now it's making sense. Yeah. I graduated with his brother, Billy, older brother, Billy. So, love this show. Love this, Richie. Sorry, Bills. Yes. Sorry to the Bills. Sorry to the Bills. You need a head coach and a QB. Nah, we got our head coach. We just need a QB for sure. All right, guys. So I just want to say again, thank you for everybody tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you guys as always. Love you all. Let's freaking go Jets. I'll be live again tomorrow again, and I'll catch you guys next time. Let's freaking go Jets. Nathaniel Hackett, welcome to the New York Jets. Peace.